Hello, friends, and welcome back to Feel Good Alcohol Free. I'm very excited to introduce a special guest this week, my new dear friend, Deb Podlogar. A little about Deb. Throughout her 40s, Deb faced a series of significant challenges, including her eldest daughter's critical illness, a divorce, breast cancer, a double mastectomy, and the loss of both parents to dementia. During these tumultuous years, wine became a comforting companion. However, she realized that while alcohol was numbing her pain, it was also diminishing the joy in her life. Approaching her 50th birthday, Deb decided it was time for a change and stopped drinking on December 31st, 2020. Initially aiming to moderate her intake, she discovered that she felt remarkably better without alcohol and embraced sobriety. 10 days into her journey, she started her Instagram account at mocktail.mom. Today, Deb hosts the Thriving Alcohol-Free with Mocktail Mom podcast and runs a membership called the Mocktail Social Club for women who want to connect online over mocktails and non-alcoholic beverages. She's recently published a recipe book, The Happiest Hour, Delicious Mocktails for a Fabulous Mom's Night In. Our conversation dives deep into socializing sober, how doors start to open in sobriety, and what it's like to feel authentic freedom. It was so fun, and I hope that you enjoy our conversation. Here's the vibe. We are having so much fun sober, being ourselves, that we aren't even thinking about alcohol. Hello, Deb.
It's true. So true. Hello, my friend. I'm so happy to see you. What a joy to be on your podcast and visit with you. I'm so excited. Well, thank you for having me. Thank you, my friend.
I have been looking forward to today for weeks, it feels like.
Oh, I'm so happy. Me too.
Yay, me too. If you're listening to this episode and not watching it, I really want you to go check it out on YouTube and there'll also be some pictures on Instagram because we're wearing our derby hats. As the time that this episode airs is April 30th, and we are heading into Derby weekend. And this is a big deal for you because of where you live, right, Deb?
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. Okay, so I did not grow up in Kentucky. I grew up outside Philadelphia. So when I moved here, I didn't move here from Philly, but when I moved here, first of all, the kids are off school the day before Derby. Like, school's canceled. My first year here, my girls were off. It's called Oaks Day. And I was like, what do you mean they don't have school on Friday? What do you mean? And everybody's like, it's Oaks Day. It's Oaks Day. Like, I'm supposed to know what Oaks Day means. And everywhere you go, I mean, there's Derby stuff everywhere. It's bigger than Christmas. Like, when I tell people that, they don't believe me. And I'm like, no, you go in a store and they're like, oh, have a great Derby. Happy Derby. You know, or if you're trying to make them, at the time I was working in corporate and it was like, oh, I can't meet with you this week. Call me after Derby. I mean, it's such a big deal here. Anyway, so all that to say, we've been overtaken by fascinators and Derby hats and all the things. Yes. And bourbon and non-alcoholic bourbon now. So very fun.
Oh, it's so amazing. And so my dad has a Kentucky Derby party every year, and I'm so excited for it this year. And I was super inspired by your Derby series, your mocktail series on Instagram, because I will be, as usual, the only person not drinking alcohol at my dad's Derby party. And this year, I'm going to bring my A game with mocktails.
And you know what? You can serve them. I just posted a reel this morning. It's like a peach old fashioned. And you could serve that to somebody that uses non-alcoholic whiskey and they would not know. I bet you can serve it to your dad's friends. They will not know it's non-alcoholic. They will think it's full leaded, they'll think it's a cocktail. I guarantee you. Yeah.
I can't wait.
Give it a try. I dare you. Take the mocktail dare for the Derby.
I love it. Is it just because of where you live and the atmosphere around you that made you want to do this series on Instagram?
I mean, well, first of all, I miss all the holidays. Like, it was Gin and Tonic Day. Oh, I missed it. It was National Beer Day. I miss everything. So I'm like, okay, this is the one holiday that I can own. This is the one event during the year that I'm not going to miss. So I'm going all in. I think I have like 6 reels up already with fascinators on and a mocktail you could have at a Derby party. So yeah, I'm like, I'm not missing this one. I miss everything.
I've been loving it. And I love that you call it a holiday.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. If you live here, you know. Yes.
it's not even just a holiday, it's a holiday season where you live.
I mean, you go to the grocery store, there's already like, I was at Kroger and they had balloons that are horses. There's horse balloons at Kroger right now. And we're still like 2 weeks out. I mean, it's crazy. It's bigger than the Super Bowl. People don't understand.
What will you be doing on Saturday, the first Saturday of May? What will you be doing?
Okay, it's so funny. I have gone to Derby. It's very expensive, but we've had tickets before, like given to us, or whatever. But so we have gone to Derby. I won't be going to Derby, but I will go probably the Tuesday before. They call it. Well, there's all the days leading up to Kentucky Derby. That whole week are days of races and stuff. So I'll probably go to the track, Churchill Downs, on Tuesday or Wednesday. And it's basically, I mean, people locally all come show up in their Derby gear and hats. And you would think it's Derby, but it's almost more for the locals. It's very fun, but it's not as crowded and not as expensive. So you can go for $50 versus $500 or $3,000 or $10,000. Depending on where your seats are. Yeah. So we've had some great seats before, but yeah, we'll just do something here at home and we'll watch the race. I mean, I'm not super, we don't go crazy, but I just like to make reels about it all.
I know. It's so fun.
That's more fun for me. I don't want to host anything. I just want to make reels about it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, in the sober coaching world and in the non-alcoholic world, we talk a lot about like cheap dopamine and we talk a lot about dopamine hits. And I will not lie, my favorite part about my dad's Derby party is how he holds an auction and we get to buy the little gambling aspect.
That's so fun. Yes.
Yeah. He does it all. And we play little like dollar table games where you like roll a dice and your horse gets to move forward that many, like, whatever.
I love it.
It's so fun.
It.
And so
I need to bring that. Okay.
It's fun. Yeah. Well, I'll send you some info offline of all of our little games.
Very cool. Okay. Very cool. Yes. We need some Derby games. I need to up my game this year. Yes.
I love it. I love it. We talked a little bit about this offline, but hosting as a sober person. And I was thinking about this actually this morning after reflecting on our messages, where I actually also do not do any entertaining. Yep. No, I wouldn't say any, but like it's very rare.
Yep.
I think I used to before the pandemic.
Same.
But I'm home so much that I don't want people at home. I want to go out.
Same. I'm the same, Lindsay. And I used to feel kind of bad. Like, I feel bad. My sister loves to host and she's a great hostess and loves to have people over and get the food. That is so stressful for me. I'm like, meet me at a restaurant. I want to relax. I want to be served. That sounds terrible to say, but like, I just want to be taken care of. I want everybody to have a good time. But like, I don't necessarily want to host. I want to clean my house. It stresses me out. But I'm like you, like, it's not like I don't have people over. It's just not my love language or what I love to do. So yeah.
Yeah. So, but when you do, let's talk about hosting as a sober person. What would your approach be, or what is it when it happens?
Actually, like at Thanksgiving, we had a dear friend of ours come over, and actually, and I used to go out to lunch together and drink wine, and she's one of my wine friends, so to speak. She's more than just a wine friend, but she's a friend. But she came over for Thanksgiving with us. And I know she loves Chardonnay, and I know the wine she loves. I used to drink it with her. And I wanted to be inclusive because I feel like I want people to be inclusive of me not drinking. I appreciate it, I should say. I mean, obviously, if somebody doesn't have non-alcoholic spirits, it's fine, or non-alcoholic wine, I don't care. But I love it, and I do appreciate when someone is inclusive of me. And I felt like I want to be inclusive of what she still enjoys. Like, she still enjoys full-leaded wine. I literally went to Trader Joe's, went back to my old stomping ground, went down the aisle. It was like bringing back like all the memories. I mean, it was like, well, hello, friends. I'm back. Did you miss me? Look, you're all here. Let me dust you off. No one's purchased you because I haven't been buying for the last 4 years. Let me help out the business. I heard wine sales are down. Let me help. So I bought her a bottle of wine.
I love that. I could like feel my body temperature rising as you were talking about the Trader Joe's.
Right? I mean, that was like, hello, old lovers. Here I am. So I bought her a bottle of wine, for me personally, it's not a trigger. It would have been in the very beginning. I'm 4+ years in. It wasn't a big deal. There was even extra left over when she left. Yeah. It wasn't even a temptation for me. It would have been in the very beginning. That wine would not have lasted. It would have been gone. I would have finished it. So I feel like it depends on where somebody is, but like if you're further along and it's not a trigger, I feel like I didn't feel worried about buying. I wasn't even worried if somebody saw me buying a bottle of wine. I'd been like, oh, it's for my friend Marianne when she comes over for Thanksgiving. Like, I don't care,
Yeah.
you know. But in the beginning, it would have been really hard to go back in there and not be like, actually, I'll buy 3 bottles, you know, one for us Thanksgiving and a couple for me later. So
Yeah.
I think it depends
Yeah.
on what somebody is.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that there's an element of you don't want your guests to feel like they can't drink around you.
Totally. Yep.
And
Yep.
you know, they love you and they want your success. So they're going to do whatever is going to help you, but at the same time it's like
For sure.
have something that you can drink that you feel good about and have something for them too. I love it.
Yeah. So I think as long as it's not a trigger, I think it's great to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I don't even think I realized we're right around the same. So I'm like 4.5 years sober. August 2020 is my 5-year anniversary.
Wow. Coming up. Okay.
Yes. And early in my sobriety, the like amount and variety of things I would pack in a cooler when I was going to be the guest at somebody's house was kind of ridiculous.
Look like you're moving in.
Yeah. Like I have 5 different non-alcoholic beers, 5 different ready to pour mocktails, like as if I would ever, even if it was alcohol, I never would have even drank as much as I was bringing. So I don't know why I needed so much variety. But my first Christmas was my sober Christmas, right around your end of your
My
drinking.
last drinking Christmas. Yep.
Yeah, my husband was so supportive when we were going to my family's, and he ordered, like, I had not seen more mocktail type things, and so like just being really prepared. So how do you prepare, or how did you then compared to actually how you feel you need to now?
So interesting. Very similar in the very beginning. I felt like I had to have something in my hand, even in the evening, just at home by myself. I needed to, that's how it all started, was like, I needed to have something in my hand so I would not go for that wine again. I needed a mocktail or non-alcoholic option. I really relied on mocktails and non-alcoholic drinks. They were like the bumper rails of my sobriety in the very beginning. I mean, they really were. They kept me on track. It helped me like stay in my lane, you know, and if I didn't have that, I know I would have gone back if I didn't have those options. So some people say, oh, a non-alcoholic spirit is a trigger. So like, you know, obviously then don't drink it. For me, it was the exact opposite. Now I can go days and I don't have a mocktail, or, you know, maybe I'm drinking sparkling water. Last night I did have a mocktail actually, but that's almost unusual at this point for me to actually like get out my shaker cup and make a mocktail at night, you know, because I don't want to say like, I don't need it. Yeah. Because I don't need it, but I enjoy, like if we were out at a restaurant for our anniversary the other night and they did have 0 proof options on the menu. They had some delicious mocktails. I ordered one. Like I wanted to have a nice drink and feel like I was having a cocktail, you know, out and about, but it wasn't like I would have ordered wine if they didn't have that, you know? So It's different now. It's definitely very, very different now, 4+ years in. Very different. In the beginning, it was really I don't know, a crutch, whatever you want to call it. It helped me. It was a tool in my tool chest. Yeah, I mean, they were the bumper rails. They were just, it helped me so much to stay alcohol free. Yep.
Yeah. Anything to just feel like you're included. When I quit drinking, it was during like the pandemic, and our social life was backyard kind of fire things with a few close friends. And I remember I was so excited to tell my friends that I hadn't been drinking. Like it was the first time I'd seen them for maybe 3 months. And I was so excited to tell them that I was, I don't know, 3.5 or 4 months sober. And I had a non-alcoholic beer and it was in a koozie, so you couldn't even see what it was. And my friend, he said, well, then what are you drinking? And I could not wait to pull out my little Athletic Brewing.
Okay, awesome.
And show
like,
him.
Surprise.
Yeah. And it was just, I don't know. There was a level of excitement around it. And it's totally different now than then, because then I spent a lot of energy thinking about it, almost as much as you think about moderation. You're still spending energy, but it dissipates.
It does. It just naturally dissipates. Suddenly you're not thinking about it so much. Yeah. You're not relying on it so much. It just naturally happens as time continues to go on. And don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. If you're brand new starting out, or you're just thinking about it, don't stress about 6 months down the road, a year down the road. Like, one day at a time, but like it is so true. Just focus on today. Just win today. Win this hour. Win this minute. You're not drinking right now. That's what you're doing. And you're doing great.
You're doing great. That is
You're doing great.
The name of the game.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to transition into the beautiful place that your sober journey has brought you as it relates to your book. So you started your Instagram 10 days into your sober, which is crazy to me. I was like 2.5, 3 years sober when I finally decided to
That's
do that.
so funny. Well, I didn't want anybody to know about it. I didn't tell any of my real life friends. Then my neighbor found me when I tagged our city. I was like, oh, I didn't realize that's how Instagram works. It's like, how'd she find me? I love no idea.
Your neighbor knew before
my neighbor, literally before my husband knew.
No.
Like, I didn't tell anybody in my real life that I was taking a break from alcohol. I was like, because they won't believe that I can do it. So I thought, well, let me just try for like a month and see if I can do this.
I love that so much because that is one of the things that keeps us stuck is because, and not wanting to open up about it is because we think other people won't believe that we can do it.
Yep. I didn't believe I could do it. And I thought if I tell them, they're going to be like, oh, okay, mom. Okay. My mom. Sure.
Yeah. But this decision to start this Instagram account brought you massive growth because of a beautiful reel that you created and led to your book deal.
Isn't that crazy? So crazy. So Don Lemon had shared something on CNN or whatever when he was still working there about how women over 50 were past their prime. And I could not get it out of my head for like days. I was like, I was over 50 and I could not believe he said that. I was like, what is wrong? What is wrong with this? Who would say that? Who would say such a thing? And I couldn't get it in my head. So I thought, I have to make a mocktail about this. So I made a mocktail just talking about how I had been through breast cancer, how I had a double mastectomy, how I lost both my parents, been through a divorce, like been through a lot of things. But guess what? I'm just getting started. My life is not over. I'm not past my prime. Anyway, that video went really viral. I guess that was like 2.5 years ago. And so a publisher reached out to me on Instagram, actually in my DMs. And I thought it was like fake. I was like, oh, okay, sure. So anyway, then we got on a call. She was so nice and wonderful and asked me if I had recipes. And I was like, oh yeah, I have lots of recipes and stuff. And we just started working together and, worked out some details and began working together and started writing. I wrote the book, The Happiest Hour. So it's just about it's mocktails and a little bit of my story. And there's just like little blurbs about each of the drinks and, things in my life and stuff. Cause, there's been very, very hard times. And alcohol was numbing the pain of those hard times for sure. But when I stopped drinking, I realized like it was also numbing my joy. Sharing on Instagram has been so wonderful just to be of encouragement and to connect with other people who are sober curious, just interested in mocktails for fun, or starting their alcohol-free journey or further along. It's been incredible. It's the most wonderful, warm community. I just love it. I feel like it's this untainted space where like there's none of some of the noise that goes on in the world. I feel like that's not there. And I really, really appreciate it.
I love that so much. And everything about you like exudes the difference between being a drinker and being sober. Your life is so bright and big now. It really is. And I think that's what I want women to know is life is dull when you drink every day. And it's small.
I was sitting on the couch by myself. I would sit and zone out while I would hope nobody realized how much I'd poured in my glass and how many times I'd refilled it while I'd watch TV. And then my kids would go to bed. My husband, I'd be like, okay, hopefully he'll go to bed so that I can just keep drinking. And it was lonely. I mean, I was in a house with people, but I was alone in my head because I was like, I just want to be alone so I can be with my wine and like, bond with my Chardonnay. It's so sad. And now I'm so free. I mean, to be free of that, the headspace, the shame that I'd wake up with. I mean, it was like a U-Haul of shame I dragged around every morning. I mean, really, I felt that all day long, like shame. I can't believe I did it again. Oh my gosh. I said I was just going to have one. And by 3:00, I was like, do I have any left in that bottle? Literally. And then if not, I'd be like, okay, I better stop at the store. Well, let me park this way so that like my kids, if they're in the car with me, they can't see me walk into the wine shop. Because in Kentucky, it's separate. There's the grocery store and there's the wine shop. And I was like, okay, if I park this way, they won't even see me walk into both stores. I'm just going to run and grab eggs. So much, finagling, maneuvering. And now I'm free. I'm just free. Park wherever I want. Walk. I mean, I'm just like, I'm not thinking about it.
Right. And if you have to walk into the wine shop, they know it's for your friend coming over.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you're right.
So you talked a little bit about the process with the publisher reaching out, but what was the process for you to like write it?
I was a terrible student in school. I mean, horrible. Like I brought up the whole bottom of the class. So like for me to have this kind of a project with deadlines, I felt like I was writing like the biggest book report of my life, This was pre-ChatGPT. It was only a couple years ago, but it wasn't like ChatGPT wrote this book. So, or the recipes. But actually, my daughter Lily. So I have two girls, Hannah and Lily, and my younger daughter still lived at home. My older daughter was off at college when I was writing the book. But my younger daughter Lily loves mocktails. She loves trying new things, and she's got such a great palate. Like she'll try something, she's like, it's a little ginger forward, and I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, she's like, maybe add a little of this, and she's right. Like you'll add something, she'll add what she says, and I'm like, that's really good, Lil. So she helped me, like all the recipes we tasted together. She really helped me. So actually, the mocktail that's on the very back cover is called the Lily's Lavender Royale because she loves lavender. She loves lavender. And so I named that drink after her. It's like a lavender French 75. It's delicious. She loves it. And so ironically, that's the drink that the publisher put on the back cover. And the drink that's on the front cover is in honor of my mom. It's called Wings. Wind Beneath Her Wings. I can't remember the name of my own drinks. It's like a cosmopolitan, non-alcoholic cosmopolitan.
How fun. What would you say to women who are worried about swapping out their alcohol for non-alcoholic alternatives? Like, do you think they would be afraid that it's triggering? We kind of touched on this earlier, like you have to do what is going to benefit you, but what if they just don't know and they need to experiment with it?
Yep. I think give it a try, cautiously. Like I have friends who are sober who can drink the non-alcoholic spirits, but they were more of like a Chardonnay drinker like I was. And if they drink a Chardonnay, it is triggering for them. So they don't drink it. I absolutely love having a glass of Chardonnay. It's not triggering. So I just think like cautiously give it a try, see if it helps you or see if it's not good. Like just like if you go to the gym or you go, oh, I went to Pilates one time or that bar class. Oh, my ankles hurt. Everything hurt. I was like, I'm never doing this again. So like, give it a try. Like I've never gone back and I don't care. My life is fine, but like go do a yoga class then. And like, wow, I loved it. I feel good, see how you feel. And if you don't like it, pour it out. Like it's $30 at the most. I mean, unless you're like really going crazy, but like it's a little investment in your sober journey and it might be a great tool in your toolkit, or it might be like, this isn't for me. And that's okay. Or give it to a friend. Great.
Yeah.
You tried it.
I love that. It's all about, for me, something that always helped me was keeping the ritual and changing the ingredient. And if it isn't going to trigger me or make me start thinking about that bottle, for me, it was Sauvignon Blanc or Malbec. I kind of, went back and forth. And if it's not going to make me want the real deal, then it's perfect. For me, we talk a lot about this in my coaching container where people feel like leaving alcohol there's a sense of loss there. We're grieving a version of ourselves that we're, evolving from. And it definitely did for me. I kind of realized that when I was letting go of alcohol, it made room for so many more beautiful things to come into my life. And so I've really gained a lot from going alcohol free, and you have too. I'd love to hear about that from your perspective. I mean, we've already talked about one major door that's opened for you because of it, but what are some of the top 5 things you've gained?
Oh my gosh. Well, I was just going to say before that, I just want to say I did grieve. It was a grieving process. I did not realize how sad it would be. It was like a death. It was so crazy. We're laughing about going back into Trader Joe's, but I mean, I can remember shopping at the regular Trader Joe's right after I was sober or, taking a little break and seeing the wine section and wanting to lay down on the floor and flail around like a 4-year-old and be like, I miss you. Do you miss me? Like that is how I felt. I missed zoning out. I missed the buzz. I missed, just not having to care, not having to feel. I missed that. And I really, really grieved it. It was really hard. It was not easy. So anyway, all that to say, it was definitely a grieving process. Not grieving anymore. Now we've moved on from that. But it was, and that was a shock to me. Did not expect that. Are you kidding me? It's just my wine. It was just like a fun, wine mom. Okay, what things have I gained? What did you ask me? 5 things?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like everything.
There's gotta be 5.
I mean, everything. Not waking up at 3 a.m, and wondering, how did I get in this bed? Or the room is spinning and I'm sweating and I feel terrible, and then I can't go back to sleep. No Amazon surprise packages. So it was always like Christmas, a package would show up and I'd be like, oh, wow. what did I order? It was like a surprise because I probably ordered something at 1:30 in the morning or whatever. No more Netflix asking me, would you like to continue watching? And I'm like, what was I watching? I don't even remember watching something. Who was watching this? But just the freedom of not having that headspace, of like that crowded headspace. I felt like, like when you're watching the news or whatever, and they have like the ticker at the bottom where it's like you're listening to the person talk and then they're also giving you other news. It was like I was living my life, but there was always this running thing in my head. Like, do I have wine at home? If he's going to have another drink, I'll have another drink, always there. And that's gone. So just the freedom of that being gone. But, yeah, just so many things. I mean, I just went on vacation with my daughters. We went on spring break to Missouri together. We had the best time. It was just the three of us, little girls trip. I didn't once feel like I need to zone out, I need to check out, I need to go hide in my room and hide some wine or pack some wine and nobody sees it. Like just that freedom. I can't explain it until like you really experience it. So I want to encourage anybody who's listening, because if they look at my Instagram right now, maybe you don't realize like she really struggled. I did not grow up, with a mocktail in my hand. I didn't grow up, even with Chardonnay in my hand. It just happened slowly. I slowly became a wine mom. And then it was really hard to get out of it. It was really, really hard to get out of it. But I want people to understand like it can be really, really difficult to pull yourself out of it. But it's possible with a coach like you, Lindsay.
Oh, you're so cute. Thank you. I know it is. It is really hard because you can't even see all the things that you're describing that are amazing in your life. You don't see that when you are on the couch every day in a cycle.
Can't imagine. You can't imagine sitting on your patio in the summer and not pouring a glass of wine. You just can't, because it's like, that's what I do. This is my habit. And it's just become a habit. And it's just, you just need to change that habit. And like you said, change the ingredients, keep the ritual.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just have to keep practicing it. You just have to keep practicing not drinking.
Yep. It gets easier. It gets better.
My perspective of you is that you are a very social person, at least an extrovert, and it seems to come very naturally to you. Is this true?
Oh, yes. I've never met a stranger. Yes, I make friends. I come home and my husband's like, "How do you know all this stuff about the lady in the line at the Trader Joe's? How do you know?" Actually, one of my dearest friends I met in line at Blaze Pizza. She's one of my dearest friends. We met in line. She was a stranger. She's now one of my best friends. She slept over with me at the hospital when I had one of my surgeries. I mean, like, hilarious. Like, we met in line at Blaze. So yes, I love to meet people. I like to meet people. It gives me energy. Isn't that crazy?
Yes. And every time I talk to you, I learn something more where we are more alike. Like,
really? Okay, good.
Yeah. My husband always says to me, I'm that person, like, people don't want to be on the ski lift with me because my husband's like, you know everything about the person that we were on the ski lift, like where they're from, where they work, how many kids they have. So for the newly sober, the woman who is afraid of being socially awkward without the alcohol in her glass, what is the advice that you would give her?
Oh my goodness. I think at the beginning I was really worried what people were going to think. They're going to think I have a problem if I'm not drinking. They're going to ask me what's in my glass. They're like, you're holding that beer, in the koozie, like they're going to see or whatever, like people are going to know and the spotlight's going to come on me. And I feel like I didn't realize nobody cares. Nobody cares. They don't care what you're drinking. And especially now, now the mocktail movement, the sober curious movement has grown so much and it's so much more popular. Even Coachella, they just had there's a whole thing now about Sobrachella, how they had all these mocktails there. This whole thing about Sobrachella. Like, can you imagine a big festival like this? Like, they're talking about sobriety at a festival. Like, so it's all changed so much. So I just feel like just lean into it, have fun, find something new to drink, and the confidence will continue to come as you like you said, practice it. Just practice it.
Yes, I love it. It is. It's all about confidence. With practice comes confidence.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I am grateful that gone are the days where the only NA option was the one brand of non-alcoholic beer or the offer of a Pepsi or something. Yeah. And so the market is totally wild and it's incredible. What's your go-to drink at home when you're not drinking a mocktail?
When I'm not drinking a mocktail or a cocktail, you mean? No.
Mocktail.
when I'm
When
not
you're-
drinking a mocktail.
Yeah, like you had mentioned
Oh.
earlier, you don't, it's not like an everyday thing that you're
Oh.
making a mocktail. So what is your go-to?
My go-to is probably a non-alcoholic wine. To be honest, I feel like I'm still a little bit of a wine mom. Like if I'm going to take a bath, like when we drove home from our spring break, I was like, I really wanted like some Gießen Sauvignon Blanc. I took a bath, I had my Gießen, and it just like, I was like craving that. Not like I was craving alcohol. I was just like craving to like relax. And to me, it was just like a chillax, have my glass of wine. And so that's probably my go-to is a non-alcoholic wine, probably is the first thing I do. Or a mule, a Moscow mule, a non-alcoholic mule would probably be my second. Or just
I love
sparkling
it.
water, lime juice. Yeah.
Yeah. Sparkling water with lime juice. That's
Yep,
me too.
yep.
And what about when you go to a restaurant? What are you going to order?
I do ask for mules a lot because it's very easy for them to make. Just a simple thing they can make, even if they don't have a mocktail on the menu. So I will look for mocktails. And if they do have some, I will order one because I feel like I want them to know people are buying them, people are interested in it, have the dollars go towards those, those items that they've put, taken time to put on the menu.
That is a really good point because they will not continue to stock them if people aren't buying them.
Yep.
Okay, so now I have a whole new mission you've just pointed me into of making sure.
And I can't say I do that every time, but I mean, I do try to. Like the other night we went out and we ordered 2 of the mocktails, the 0 proof options on the menu.
I saw that. It was your anniversary.
It was our anniversary, 11 years. 11
Happy
years with my
anniversary.
Match.com sweetheart.
Oh,
We met
I
on
love
Match.
it. That's so cute.
There are some nice guys out there.
There are. Hey, I met my husband at work. So
Oh, that's wonderful. That's awesome.
like we used to sit next to each other in the office.
He's like, and she would talk my ear off and she knew everything about me after day 1.
Basically, how did you know?
Because we're the same person.
Yes. Okay, you have this line on your website that I love. Being free from alcohol has allowed me to start living a life with authentic freedom. Talk to me about this. What does this mean to you?
I mean, for just kind of what I described, like I feel like that freedom from like all the shame and all the head noise, but it really has allowed me to like lean into or just rest in freedom of like, maybe it comes when you're 50. I don't over 50. Like, I mean, I have gray hair now. My hair's naturally gray. I don't care, like I don't care what people think anymore so much, not to say I never do, but you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like a freedom of like, I'm not drinking. I don't care what you have in your glass. Don't care what, I hope you don't care what I have in my glass. And if you do, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense. Like just freedom of like, I'm just so blessed and so grateful. So much to be thankful for. Yeah.
It's a different book called, I believe it's called The Art of Not Giving a F.
Oh, okay. I haven't read that one. Maybe I'm living it. I think I'm living it. Yeah. Like, and I don't know. There's just a freedom in like being comfortable with who you are. Maybe that comes with like really difficult times, having breast cancer. I had a double mastectomy, thinking about taking out my implants. I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, you know what? I don't even know,
Yeah. You're just living your best life day by day.
Yeah. Yep.
And
being
honestly,
free.
It's so beautiful. You live with so much color and vibrance that the
Thank you,
absolute
Lindsay.
Opposite of dull. It's been amazing to
Thank you
talk
for
with
having
you
me.
today.
Thank you. You're so sweet. I am so glad that we met. Like we met on Instagram Live of all places. It was like in Blaze, like at the line of Blaze. We met on Instagram Live. Dear friends.
It was.
Yes, with Kate.
She's
love wonderful. It. Yeah.
She is. And it's such a beautiful community on Instagram. And the thing I love it is I have never been part of a community or met so many people where there is zero judgment.
I agree. And I feel like, especially like today, like so many, there's like, everybody's like divided. And I feel like in the sober community on Instagram, there is none of that. And I'm so grateful. It doesn't matter. I don't care what people voted for, whatever. It's like people are just loving on one another, encouraging each other. And that's how it should be.
Yes, exactly. Well, this has been the highlight of my week. And
love you, my friend.
Oh, I love you too. For everyone listening, Deb, as a reminder, she hosts the podcast Thriving Alcohol Free with Mocktail Mom, and she runs a membership called the Mocktail Social Club for women who want to connect online over mocktails and non-alcoholic beverages. She also organizes the Mocktail Summit, a global online event held every January designed to educate and support those interested in alcohol-free options. Not to mention her recipe book, The Happiest Hour, 4 delicious mocktails for a fabulous mom's night in. And I've got that one linked in the show notes. You can pick it up. It's beautiful. And you can follow Deb on Instagram for recipes, tips, and tricks. And of course, menopause-related fun. At mocktail.mom. So everything is linked in the show notes. We're so happy you joined us, and I hope you enjoy the Kentucky Derby.
Yay. Yes. Yes. You two have fun at your dad's party. You're going to have a great time.
Thank you so much. And that is it for me this week. I will see you next week.